Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are creating an interesting project using HTML and CSS. We are going to create Next.js landing page. But before I show you how this page looks like, if you are new to the channel, my name is Yusman. I'm a self-taught web developer and I make tutorials about web development. So if this is something that really interests you, consider subscribing to my channel and make sure you hit the notification icon so that you don't miss anything. This is the page we are going to be creating today, guys. It looks exactly the same as the page provided by Next.js if we install a new project and run npm run dev. So we have a couple of cards, and if we click on a certain card, we are taken to a relevant page. Pretty simple. Let's open Visual Studio Code right now and start creating this page from scratch. Alright, so I have opened a new project with Visual Studio Code, and now the first thing I'm gonna do, I will create a couple of files. First one of them will be index.html, and I will also create style.css. Inside the index file, I will generate my boilerplate, and for the title, we can say create next app. After that, inside the body, we can create a div with the class of container, and inside this div we will have a main tag with the class of main, and inside this main we will place our cards. But before that, let's also link our style.css. So I will simply link my CSS here. So I will link it. And in order to test my CSS, whether it's linked properly, I can just say body. And I can give it a background color of black. And after I save this and open this with live server, I will be able to see that the body is black because our CSS is linked. Okay, great. So let's come back and remove this. Indeed, we will style the application later. Let's first create our HTML boiler code. And inside the main now, let's create an h1 with the class of title and give it a title of welcome to. Here, as this link will open a new page, we will wrap this in an anchor tag, and the href attribute of this anchor tag will be https semicolon / www.next.js.org. And here inside this anchor tag, we'll say next.js with an exclamation mark. Okay, let's save this and see what happened. So if I open this and if I click on this link, I'm taken to the Next.js page. Great. Let's return and open Visual Studio Code again. And now below this h1, let's create a paragraph with the class of description, and this paragraph will say get started by editing. Here I will create a span tag because I would like to style this separately after that, so I'll give it a class of span. And inside the span, I will say pages / index.js, and I will save it, and I will open my live server again, and I will see the paragraph below. Great. What else we need to do? So let's come back and after this paragraph, let's create a div with the class of grid, and this div will be storing our cards. So inside the div, every card will be an anchor tag. So I will create an anchor tag, and the first one, the first ref will lead to https://www.nextjs.org, and it will be /docs, because that will be the card which will be opening the docs, the docs section of Next.js website. I will give this anchor tag a class of card. So each one of those will have a class of card. And inside the anchor tag, we will have an h2, and that one will say documentation. And we have an arrow after the word. So to achieve an arrow, we can use the ampersand, and we can say RARR twice. And if I save this now, I will be able to show you what happened. Now we have an arrow next to documentation. Great. Let's go back. And after this H2, let's create a paragraph again. And we can say find in-depth information about Next.js features and API dot. Let's save, let's open, and we can see our anchor tag. We will have 4 of those, so let's simply copy this href and let's paste it a couple of times. So we'll have 4 cards, so 3, 4. Okay. The second one will say, here instead of documentation, we will have learn. So learn, and the paragraph will say, so I'm gonna delete this, and it will say learn about Next.js in an interaction course with quizzes. And the link here will be /learn. And then below this, after learn, we will have examples. So let's say examples. And the paragraph will say discover and deploy boilerplate example Next.js projects. And the link, if I'm not mistaken, let me just check which one it will be. It will be this one right here. So I'm gonna copy this link, and I'm gonna go back to Visual Studio Code, and I will replace the anchor tag link with this one. And I will save. I want to see what happened. I will go back, and we also have the documentation. So we have documentation, the examples. Documentation, learn, examples, and we have one more to create. And that one will be deploy. deploy, and let me grab the link for deploy. So the deploy one is right here. So I'm gonna copy and paste this link right here. I'm gonna hit prettier, and then we have to remove this paragraph, and we can say deploy instantly. Sorry, it's gonna be instantly deploy your Next.js site to a public URL with Vercel, the company which created Next.js. All right, and after this anchor tag, let me just double check. So after this anchor tag, we will have actually it won't be here, it will be after the div. We'll have our footer. So I'm gonna create a footer with the class of footer, and we will style this later. And inside the footer, we will have an anchor tag which will lead to the official Next.js website. So I'm gonna click on this, and I will copy and paste this, and here I will paste this link, and this href will be with the target of underscore blank because it will open a new tab when we click on it. And inside the anchor tag, we will say powered by, here we will have a span with the class of logo, and inside the span we will place an image, which for the moment I will just leave just like that because I don't have the image and I will have to paste it in my project. And after the span, we have our footer closing tag, and I think that's it. But it will be, the footer will be in, it will be inside, it will be after the main. So below the main we'll place our footer, and I will save now, and let's see what happened. So I'll go back and we see our footer right here. Alright, so I have copy and pasted the image we'll be using in this tutorial, vercel.svg. It will be available in the description below the video, so you will be able to download it and use it as well. Let's open our project, and we see the logo right here, which we will style in a moment. We have everything done in terms of HTML structure, and we are ready to start styling the application. So let's open style.css and start styling the app. So I'm gonna say HTML, and HTML will have padding of 0, a margin of 0, the body will be also right here, so HTML comma body. So we'll have those styles, and we'll have a font family which will be Apple System. this long one right here. So if you type Apple, you'll be able to see it. After that, we will say also star. So we will select everything and we'll give it a box sizing of border box, just a basic reset. And then let's save and let's see what happened with the page. We see that the font family changed. Great. Let's go back and start styling different elements from the page. So I will start with the anchor tags. So the anchor tags will have a color of inherit. So they will inherit the color. And we'll say text decoration none. And if I save and go back, we will be able to see that the blue color of the links disappeared. After that, we will style our container, and the container will have a min height of 100 viewport height. We'll have a padding of 0, top and bottom, and 0.5 rem left and right. It will be display flex. The flex direction will be column. We'll say justify content, center. We will align items center. And we will give it a height of 100 viewport height so that it takes the whole page. Now if I go, we see that everything moves to the center. After that, below this, we will style our main. So I'll say dot main, and the main will have a padding of 5 rem top and bottom and 0 left and right. It will be flex 1 to cover the whole container. Display will be flex. Flex direction will be column again. Justify content will be center, and we will align items into the center. Let's see what happened now. So I'm gonna go back and we see that nothing pretty much changed. So below the main, we can also style the footer. So I would say footer, and the footer will have a width of 100%. It will have a height of 100 pixels, a border top of 1 pixel solid, EA, so it's gonna be hexadecimal EA. The display will be flex, align items center, and again justify content center. Okay, let's save and see what happened right here. We see our footer. All right, let's go back to the index.html file and give this image an inline style. So I'll say style width 25 pixels and height 25 pixels. Let's save. Let's open again, and we see the logo right here, which is quite small. So let's increase this size a little bit. So let's say 30 pixels and 30 pixels. Let's save now. Let's see. Okay, it did not. So height 30 pixels. Let's save and let's see what happened. I guess we will style this later again. So after the footer, let's style the anchor tag inside a footer. So dot footer anchor tag. It's gonna be display flex, align item center, justify content center, flex grow will be 1, and let's save now. So let's save and open again, and we see the footer, right? Let's style the title. So I'll say dot title A. So the anchor tag inside the title, we can say color will be hexadecimal 0070F3, which is blue. Let's save and see what happened, and we see the title became blue. Right. Let's also do that title. So when we hover over the title, when we focus over the title, and the title when the title is active. So I would say title A semicolon, hover, title A focus, and that title A active. In those cases, we would like the text decoration to be underlined. Let's save now, and let's go back. And when we hover over this link, we see that the text underline. We have a text underline. So let's go back and continue styling the page. We can also style the title itself. So the title itself will be with a margin of 0, a line height of 1.15 and a font size of 4 rem. Let's save and see what happened. And we see our title is slightly bigger. All right, let's come back. Let's now start styling the span. So I'll say span. And the span will have a background of FA. It will have a border radius of 5 pixels, a padding of 0.75 rem, and a font size of 1.1 rem. Let me save and open the page, and we see that we have a slight background of this title right here. All right, let's go back and start styling the main tag with the class of grid. So yeah, sorry, the div with the class of grid. So we'll say dot grid, and the display here will be flex. We will align the items in the center. We will justify the content into the center. We'll say flex wrap because we want them to wrap when the page is, the screen size is less. So we can say flex wrap. We can give it a max width of 800 pixels and a margin top. So margin top of 3 rem. Now if I save, we'll see that we have a margin between the title right here and our div with the class of grid. Let's also style the separate cart. So I'll say dot cart. So each cart will have a margin of 1 rem. It will have a padding of 0.5 rem. Text align of center. Actually, it would be left. So it would be left. The color will be inherit. No text decoration, so we'll say text decoration none. A border of 1 pixel solid EA, EA, EA. A border radius of 10 pixels. We will have a transition for the color, and that will be 0.15 seconds ease. And for the border color, we'll have 0.15 seconds ease again. So when we hover over the cart, we will see that transition happening. Let's do that right now. So I can say cart, hover, cart, focus, and dot cart active. We can say color 0070 F3, which is blue, and we'll say border color, and that one will be again 007 F3. Now let's save and see what happened. So when we hover over the carts, we see now that they have a border and everything works. But they are not the way we want them. They are in a column. So let's give them a width. So each cart will have a width of 45%. And if I save now, we'll be able that they are positioned correctly right now. Let's go back and also style the cart h2. So I'll say dot cart h2, and h2 will have a margin of 001 rem 0. So basically top right, bottom left, and the font size of 1.5 rem, and we'll have cart paragraph, and the paragraph of the cart will have a margin of 0, a font size of 0.25 rem, and line height of 1.5. Let's save and let's see. So now they look much better. Indeed, we are getting the same look of the page. Like I said in the intro, if we create a new Next.js project and if we run npm run dev, you will see that the page looks exactly the same as this one. Let's also style the logo, so the span with the class of logo. So that one will be with a height of 1m, a margin left of 0.5 rem, and a width of 1m. And let's see now. So we see that it looks better. All right, so we have created this Next.js landing page with HTML and CSS. It looks exactly the same as the official one given by Next.js. If we try to click on those cards, we are taken to the pages. So everything looks good. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next videos.